Hello again. My name is Jody Curtis and I am a Reverend of the Science of Mentalphysics. I teach a breath class at the Institute of Mental Physics in Joshua Tree, California, and I am making these videos to demonstrate just simply the physical mechanics of the 8 key breaths of mental physics. There's a lot of students around the world that are practicing this and they're on their own spiritual journey. Mental physics is a multi-denominational philosophy of thought, and it's bridging the gap between science and spirituality. Dingle taught that really you are your own best teacher, and the secrets of the universe can be found within you. And so practice of these 8 key breaths is to build up and utilize the prana in the air, or the life force energy, God source energy that exists in the air, but it is not the air. And so as we do our breathings, we want to intend, we want to set the intention that as we breathe in, not only are we getting this deep, rich oxygen that our body needs, but also this soul food, this prana that we're charging our cells with. Our bodies are like batteries with positive and negative poles, and we need charging, and we can charge up our cells, and we can develop a greater wisdom and understanding of ourselves and the universe by practice. Key word, practice of the 8 key breaths. So watching the video will do nothing for you unless you actually do the breath work. So why don't you join me in practicing? This is the 5th breath of the Science of Mental Physics, and it is the VibroMagnetic breath. Dingle may call this the first of the electrical breaths. And if you haven't, just a note, if you haven't watched the instructional video, it's just a few minutes long, and it explains a few of the little pointers about each of these breaths that we practice in mental physics. And I'll briefly touch on them here in case you want to just go through this video and practice this breath with me. So first is the secret switch, and that is placing the tongue on the back of the 2 front teeth, and we inhale. All our inhales are through the nose. Nose breathers, Dingle says, are the strongest people. So breathing in through the nose, all the way in, deep belly breath, all the way in, up into the chest, and a big sniff at the top. We want to hold that air within us, pulling that secret switch. The exhale looks like this. To me, it's kind of like the sound CH. It feels like the tongue tries to stay connected to the side teeth, and it flops down a little bit in the middle with the force of the air coming out. It's a little awkward in the beginning if you're not used to breathing that way. So you'll have to practice this on your own a few times and just see what works for you. So again, inhaling through the nose. Big, 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 big breath all the way up. Filling your entire body with air, and then the exhale. The next thing is the thought, which is, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. You can say thank you, creative spirit, thank you, God, thank you, great source, whatever floats your boat. And the point is to just give thanks to that which gives us life before each of these breaths. Okay, so for the VibroMagnetic breath, is a similar position to the rest of the 8 key breaths, which is standing. Knees are snapped back, buttocks are pulled tight, shoulders are back and down. Now we're pulling downward on the fingertips. We're feeling an uplifting sensation, pulling from the head toward the sky, as we're feeling an equally downward sensation, pulling downward on the fingertips toward the ground. Now the VibroMagnetic breath, the first of the electrical breaths, looks like this. So as we inhale, all the way in, all the way up, big sniff, holding it. We're going to do 3 swings around with our palms facing each other. Swing number 1, all the way around. Swing number 2, all the way. Swing number 3, keeping all that tension in the body, Arms at the sides. And now together we exhale. And then completely relaxing down. Now, excuse me, I guess I've been doing this so long that sometimes my position gets so rigid I actually have to kind of unsnap my knees just to signal to my body to really relax down after the breath. So as important as filling your being with as much oxygen and prana as you can, you also want to squeeze all that old stale air out of the bottom of the lungs as much as possible. This puts the body back into a position of naturally taking in another breath as it does on its own without us even having to think about it. That is how good God is. Okay, so let's try this together. The fifth breath of the Science of Mentalphysics, which is the VibroMagnetic breath. Here we go. Shoulders back and down. Pulling downward on the fingertips, pulling the buttocks tight, knees are snapped back, heels are touching, your head and neck is always loose, spine is straight, and now pull that secret switch, and now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. All together we exhale. Now taking in light and life all the way into the belly, all the way up into the chest. Big sniff. And here we go. Swing number one, palms facing each other, not too fast. Swing number two, keeping that tension in the body. Swing number three, arms at the sides, pulling downward on the fingertips, buttocks tight. Together we exhale. A little breath and relax right down. Listening to the affirmation in the voice of Dingle.
And now I'm thinking of the loveliest thing I have ever known. The loveliest thing I have ever known. There it comes before my mind, that beautiful picture, perhaps from the long ago, perhaps from the far away, but there it stands perfectly clearly delineated before my mind as if it happened but a moment ago. I thank thee, Lord, for my memory. I thank thee that I am able to bring back from the vault of the past any beautiful thing that is in my memory. And I pledge myself, I vow, that from this moment henceforward nothing shall enter my memory, no idea of negation of whatsoever kind, no idea of disease, decay, senility, old age, disappointment, doubt, failure, death. Nothing shall enter my memory but that which is in unison with all good and my own very highest conception of truth. And there I see my whole conduct. There I see the whole conduct of man. And so I will that that picture shall be lost again in the absorption of my being, as feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, slowly, and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. And now I lock it up as I take another little breath and a quick sigh.